Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Hope everyone is having a great day and hope everyone's weekend was just amazing as everyone's. जो भी doubts है, please do ask in comments. We'll start the streaming in 2 minutes. Good morning, Nitesh. Good morning, Varun. नहीं कंटिन्यूटी करना है तो एक ड्रॉप देने दो ये वाला पॉइंट ऑफ एक्शन उड़ाने दो एलजी एड ऑन उस पॉइंट में देखेंगे currently we'll be in the directional allocations because अगर 1 hour में आके notice कर रहे हो what do you notice at this point? Right, we have a high volume structure build. Right, with the high volume structure build एक retracement तो बनता है तो आने दो उस retracement को उसी retracement के साथ और next plan of action को derive करेंगे. Good morning Usma, how are you? How is the baby? Right, what is market indicating at this point in 1 hour? Great to hear that, Usman. Okay. So in 1 hour, what is the one major thing that needs to be looked at? Volume. What is volume indicating? A high pressure. मतलब हर एक रिटेलर्स यहाँ पे लॉन्ग के तरफ देखेंगे जहाँ पे हमें क्या करना है नियरेस्ट रिजेक्शन पॉइंट से सेटअप फॉर्म होता है तो वी लुक फॉर अ ट्रेड एग्जीक्यूशन टुवर्ड्स द शॉर्ट till the nearest intact level. So nearest intact level अगर notice कर रहे हो यहाँ पे what is it? It's at 4010 yeah 4020. Why that is very much important to us at the current stage? अगर मार्केट को कंटिन्यूटी में आना है इस ट्रेंड में बुलिश ट्रेंड में डायरेक्शनल कन्वर्ट होना है स्विंग डेवलप होनी है तो फर्स्ट मार्केट एक लिक्विडिटी लेगा जैसे ही वो लिक्विडिटी अलॉट होगी उसी लिक्विडिटी के साथ हम ट्रेड को लेके चलेंगे साथ. So for that, where is the major liquidity points? The major liquidity is at the intact 1 and the intact 2. Right? So when this intacts come into the play, then market will definitely create a more sustainable swing trades to hold on for 5-6 days in a go. For that, what are the major things? We'll come in 15 minutes and check how what are the major things that market could do at this point. फर्स्ट, हर एक रिटेलर को लॉन्ग की तरफ बिठाने दो यहाँ पे सेटअप के साथ. जैसे ही वो सेटअप में बिठाएंगे, देन लेट द मार्केट क्रिएट अ स्ट्रक्चरल बिल्ड. इस पॉइंट ऑफ एक्शन पे या यहाँ पे 4070 के पास आके रिट्रेसमेंट लेने दो. Direct fall because we have a LG point over here. So this will be considered as one of the major acquaintance where the liquidity is being built. ये liquidity हमें मिलती है, उसके साथ एक हल्का सा drop down with the volume spike, with the setup formation at this range, we can look for an execution towards the long for directional add-ons, right? So इस चीज को आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए what are the two major things that you will be following at the current stage? Here, in 15 minutes, you will be redeveloping a structure. How will that structure works? The structure allocation is always been performed in an execution of first come first serve. So this is the demand what I am having at the current stage in first come first serve. This demand will take a play because minimality formation हुई है M1 की. M1 की formulation के साथ what does market tend to do? Market of the rejection then continues towards the next point of action, right? So is point of action mein why currently not looking towards the shortest 200% rejection of a demand, right? At this point, with 200% rejection of a demand, what is the next major thing that you have to look for? अगर मैं फर्स्ट कम फर्स्ट सर्व में अलोकेशन पे आता हूँ, सो दिस इज माय फर्स्ट कम फर्स्ट सर्व पोस्ट डिमांड, करेक्ट? सो क्या मैं ये डिमांड लेके चल सकूंगा? नहीं. तो अभी इस पॉइंट ऑफ एक्शन में मेरे को स्लॉट डेवलपमेंट करना पड़ेगा. व्हाट इज स्लॉट डेवलपिंग? 200% रिजेक्शन होने के बाद कन्वर्जन कौन सा है? ब्रेक हुआ? नहीं हुआ. तो फर्स्ट कम फर्स्ट सर्व में ये मेरा फर्स्ट कैंडल होगा. Okay, that is slot breaking. Once the slot breaking is done, you play it with the next point. Because market is not a high wick zone, I'm taking it from the wick because 100% break होके sustain हुआ है. So hence we are taking it from the same spot. The spot one 100% rejection. Second spot में allot करोगे continuity in the movement. With the continuity in the movement, what do you notice? M2 formation. If the M2 formation is good enough and sustains above the levels of the rejection point, then the major rejection will be at 4070 point. Right? Keeping in mind, हमारा minimality 15 minutes का 150% is at 4060. Right? What do you notice? Even this candle is not being created a wick. So definitely market is going to trap out. जो नीचे से 4010 में बैठे हैं, 4005 पे बैठे हैं, वेल एंड गुड. उनको एड ऑन पॉइंट मिलेगा कहाँ पे? सेम प्राइस ऑफ एक्शन पे. ओके, सो विद दैट conclusive directional movement will come into the play and we sustain on the directions to make sure that executions is in the prior allocating point. Any doubts in gold, guys? Please do ask. हेमंत MTSL at 4035. नहीं नहीं अरुंधति मैम आपका सही है. कोई भी डाउट है प्लीज पूछो. Yes, LG point is very much important in today's scenario. अगर वो हंट होए बिना जा रहा है, then I'll not be ready for a swing allocation. I'll be looking for only ID allocations for today, right? Once that LG is allotted, from there the point of action is rebuilt, then definitely I'll be looking for an execution perspectives for a swing, not prior to that. Am I clear? Why we wait for LG levels to get a swing too long and not an intact level? Ritesh, answer is simple, right? So intact levels are major allocation points, right? What do you notice? This is my LG point, this is my LG point. I have two LG points prior to others, right? So 1 hour के intact level के हिसाब से अगर मैं बैठूंगा यहाँ पे, what will I notice? I will notice the first two candles of the intact is already taken in the play, right? So जब वो play already ले चुका है, why will I wait for the next movement of allocation in this point, right? So I will wait for a liquidity grab point. In this liquidity grab point, definitely जैसे ही टच होगा एंट्री थोड़ी लेंगे. सेटअप फॉर्म होना है. उस सेटअप फॉर्म में एक वीक ऐसा आएगा जहां पे वन स्पॉट में हंट होगी. उस हंट में होने के बाद ही तो सेटअप फॉर्म होता है हमेशा. रीविंग लो या S2B1 low, right? So this is how the setups are formed. Intact levels will be hunted, but in a single candle. But उस single candle execution में तो हम नहीं जा सकते है ना. So in that perspective, what we do is we look for a major point of action where the confirmation of reversal is 100%. उधर आने के बाद ऊपर नीचे करने दो. That's totally fine for me. Right? Why I'm saying you a small example, right? हमारा LG point कहाँ पे था? ये हमारा LG point थी, correct? इस LG point के बाद what did market tend to do? Market नीचे drop किया ना, wick create किया. When the wick is created, what will market always do? Take the nearest intact point. So the nearest intact point was here. So with this intact point, market took the liquidity and continued the movement. राइट. कीपिंग इन माइंड मार्केट यहाँ से ही कंटिन्यू होना चाहिए था, बट फिर से ड्रॉप दिया आज. व्हाई? बिकॉज इंटैक्ट, राइट? सो वेयर देर इज नो इंटैक्ट और वेयर देर इज नो लिक्विडिटी ग्रैब, at that point of action we wait for a intact confirmation point. अगर यहाँ पे नोटिस कर रहे हो, यहाँ तक आने की वजह ही liquidity grab point है ना. In this green candle, the third green candle indicated that फ्राइडे के दिन, right? So in this point of action, when it took the liquidity grab, it should have continued from this point, but it went to the nearest intact and then continued. Just confirmation intact रहता है तो क्या होता है? Okay, यहाँ पे liquidity grab नहीं है, सिर्फ एक intact है. फ्राइडे न्यूयॉर्क पीएम सेशन में मार्केट ने क्या किया? उसी जोन में आके खेला थोड़ी देर के लिए. आज के दिन में रैली कंटिन्यूड. The same scenario, what do we notice over here? Intact one, sorry, LG1, LG2 points has been built. Means definitely there is a drop which will play in the game. With that drop, it will the continuity in the market. Because you have to understand the major consequences where the retailers will look for an execution. ये रनिंग कैंडल में है, ये रनिंग कैंडल में है, जितना रनिंग कैंडल में एग्जीक्यूट होता है ट्रेड उतना ही अलोकेशन बेहतर होती है हंट होने की. Okay, so patience is one of the keys in this market. So you wait and you execute at a right point of actions. Okay, Ritesh, hope the answer is clear. Doubt cleared. Thanks. No worries. See, reason why. Nay, Harshit. Very simple, no? Double top. This is the resistance level for all the retailers. When at this point the retailers will look for a short, did the market continue the movement? No. Right? In this point of action, what do you notice? 200% rejection. With the 200% rejection, continuity in the movement. With the continuity in the movement, the allocation takes play in the direction with each and every intact levels. Right? Intact हुआ continue. Intact हुआ continue. Right? Buying में बहुत सारे intacts मिलेंगे हर्षित. You just have to be पेशेंसफुली एग्जीक्यूटिंग इट इन द डायरेक्शंस. हंट कब होगा ये सब? जैसे ही एक अच्छा खासा रिटेलर एग्जीक्यूशन पॉइंट, जो कि हमें वॉल्यूम चाहिए ना, ट्रेडिंग वॉल्यूम, जो ट्रेडिंग वॉल्यूम डेवलप होता है, दैट्स व्हेन द रिवर्सल्स टेक अ प्ले. In that, market had already indicated in this point over here. Wait for the nearest level of minimality or supply or demand. Once you get a point of execution, execute with a setup, no doubt. हाई वॉल्यूम डेवलप हुए करके डायरेक्टली वेट हो गए, ट्रैप ही हो गए. सिंपल. सो डोंट गेट ट्रैप. दैट्स हाउ रिटेलर्स थिंक. गुड मॉर्निंग सुरेश जी. आज का एनालिसिस नहीं आया आपका. एनालिसिस शेयर कर दो अभिषेक को प्लीज. नाइस एक्सप्लेनेशन. गुड मॉर्निंग सुधर. वाई यू हैव मार्क 200%? क्योंकि M2 फॉर्म हुआ है ना. ये डालने से पहले ही रिजेक्शन पॉइंट बता. सो प्लीज रीमैप फ्रॉम 21. फ्राइडे राइट सर. अलोकेशन पॉइंट 1. फर्स्ट कम फर्स्ट सर्व का फ्राइडे का मूवमेंट का सप्लाई ये था. राइट. रिट्रेस हुआ एट द इंटैक्ट लेवल. ओके. सो दिस इंटैक्ट लेवल विल गेट इनटू द प्ले ऑफ दिस पॉइंट. राइट सुरेश जी. विद दिस व्हाट डू यू नोटिस? M1. M1 जब फॉर्म होता है, ब्रेक एंड कंटिन्यू, डायरेक्ट टारगेट्स आर 150%. So this is the first mapping of M1, right? In this position, why did this came only till this point of demand of intact levels? Same zone of action will be continued, first come first serve. Is this the point or this the point? Because we need to have a retracement, correct? In the retracement point of view, this is the angle what we'll be taking, right? So with this angle, allocation will be in perspective from the top, because 100% break and continue. With the 100% break and continue, what do we notice? Where did the market took the rejection from? 150%. Okay, Sureshji, from that the market has continued the rally. Okay. So it's been almost 1 year, but unable to make any profits since trading is not for me. That's why थोड़ा disheartened था और 2 to 3 weeks से बिल्कुल trading छोड़ी हुई है. I don't know what am I missing. First point of action that you're missing is you're looking to be profitable in a game without anything as soon as possible. No doubt. Second, having a fear of losing. Being in a right direction, you close the trade soon, but the wrong direction trades you hold in a hope of that you get into a profit, then I'll close. ये दो चीज को दिमाग से हटा के लेवल्स फॉलो करके एनालाइजिंग में आओगे, you will definitely be able to grow slow and steadily as you're doing it by yourself. Suresh ji, did you get the point? Okay, Isma. So make sure whatever you're doing, do it step by step. Don't jump the process. If you want to climb 100 steps, you have to take the step 1, step 2, step 3. You should go in that way. If you directly plan to align for the 10th step, okay, एक बार jump किया 10th step पहुंचे, second बार jump किया 20th step पहुंचे, third बार jump करने जाओगे 30th step को directly गिरोगे first step के पास. So you have to be very, very cautious, because this business is a business where it sustains for a longer period of time. So starting में fear आना common है. You have to work on it by meditating, by reading books, right? So once you get into the play, then you will be able to achieve what you are dreaming. And if you have money, go for a scuba diving. जिस चीज में आपको डर है, स्कूबा डाइविंग में डर होगा या स्काई डाइविंग में डर होगा, राइट? सो डू वन ऑफ द एक्टिविटीज, या बंगी जंपिंग में डर होगा, डू वन ऑफ द एक्टिविटीज to understand the fear. Once you understand that fear, the fear is gone automatically. Because 1 or 2 times you do the same thing, the third time you won't be feeling the fear of doing that thing again. Okay? Stream will be there for next 15 minutes. जो भी doubts है, please do ask. गुड मॉर्निंग अलीना। नहीं नहीं अंबिका, डायरेक्शन में ही रहो, डोंट गो अगेंस्ट। जब तक सेटअप फॉर्म नहीं होता है 150% के पास नो एग्जीक्यूशंस टू द ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शंस, knowing volume has given the spike, beautiful, setup फॉर्म होने तक नो डायरेक्ट एग्जीक्यूशंस, कितना भी रहने दो, that doesn't matter. Sir, from 4th November 7:30 p.m. till 5th November 1:15 a.m. there was many S2B1 setups, two green candles, then red, two green candles, then red, but you took only 5th November. Sir, from 4th November. Okay, 1 second. Let me come to 4th November. Okay. 7:30 p.m. 7:30 p.m. UTC only, right, Usma? Yes. 5th 1:15. Because if you notice, yeah, it's UTC. Minimality 200% rejection, spot 1, high volume, spot 2, right? उसके बाद we were waiting for a rejection point. Rejection point LG पे होता है. We had a LG over here. Keeping in mind, this was also a formation, but it didn't create a setup. One. Again, it was a two candle formation. Again, it didn't create a setup, right? But on the 5th, next day, what did it do? Gap up opening. Gap up opening, market created a hunt, and LG was also hunted at the same spot, right? Two candle confirmation, one, two. Third, in this candle was our execution, not over here also. It was here, right? Because post LG hunt, the execution was taken into the play, not prior to that. Because we work on a perspective of LG, and अगर allocation perspective के हिसाब से भी अगर आप इस point of action से भी देखे हो, तो what do you notice? It a 80 pip variation, right? So 80 pip variation, I won't look for an execution because New York session का हमारा SL range आके ही 40 to 50 pips का है max, right? So we wait for the hunt. Once the hunt is done, then the execution. Example, the same execution point which was taken in the perspective of 5th 1:15. What do you notice? What is the entry point? Entry was at 39,705. From here to here, it's a 50 pips. Well, definitely positive में दिखा के negative में भी आया. Negative didn't break below 50 pips. So that was the reason the trade was in the hold and still in the hold. Sir, what do you mean when you say it's a formation but didn't create a setup? See, two green candles and third green candle should always play a role of conversion from red candle to a green candle, right? So did it play a role over here? No. Did it play a role over here? No. Right? When the closure is only red, how will you look for an execution? You can't. You won't be able to look for an execution, right? So the conversion should be in the green, right? You entered with a setup. If the candle conversion is in the green, well and good. If the candle is not converted in a green and it's breaking the low of the intact entry point, means it's a trap, right? So you have to identify the nearest LG point. If there is no LG point, that could have started the rally from this place only. But there was a LG over here, hence the market played into a small consolidation range for 5 hours. Okay. Have you done? What are you asking? Have you done? Bungee jump, scuba diving. Yes, I have done everything. जिस जिस चीज में डर लगती है मैं पहला वो चीज करता हूँ. एक चीज पेंडिंग है. 15,000 फीट का स्काई डाइव. 9,000 फीट का किया है. 15,000 फीट का भी कर लूँ. मजा आ जाएगा. Any other doubts, guys? Stream will be there for next 10 minutes. जो भी doubts है पूछ लो. Okay, I did trade with intact at 48, running with 70 pips currently. भाई कौन सा लैंग्वेज में समझाओ. खुद मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि यहाँ पे एक एलजी है. ओके, समझ गए. छोटा ट्रेड्स तो छोड़ दे भाई। Can you explain energy point? Aslan, are you done with understanding the entire supply and demand, minimality, M2, volume structure, screening structure? Almost everything, about 90%. Nice, man. Why is the reason this is moving towards long, Arslan? What is the reason behind it? नहीं तो जो भी टाइप कर रहा है ना वरुण मत करो, दिख रहा है मेरे को। बिकॉज ऑफ द प्रीवियस डिमांड मीन्स लास्ट जो डिमांड क्रिएट हुआ है वही कैलकुलेशंस पूरी कर रही है। नहीं, you're wrong. So whichever strategies, whichever compliances, whichever formulations you guys are working on, just make sure to backtest for 6 months, forward test it for 6 months, 1 month of live analysis. With that, come with a small capital, compound it, build that capital, protect that capital with following a proper risk management. Remove FOMO, greed, and fear from your mind. How can you do it? By reading books and meditating. With that, you have to know that the risk management of your capital is very much important while you are in this business. We follow a risk to reward of 20 pips SL in Asian, 40 pips SL in London and New York. This is Nitesh signing off. मिलते हैं अगली सेशन में, तब तक के लिए टेक केयर, बाय बाय. One more cheese. It's your hard-earned money, so learn before dumping the money in the market. If you dump it randomly, you will definitely going to lose it. So protect your capital by learning and then removing the L and start earning. मिलते हैं अगली सेशन में, तब तक के लिए टेक केयर, बाय बाय.